3 families, including veterans, are feeling trapped after floodwaters rushed in, tearing out a culvert and caving in their road. Now, this several-foot drop behind me sits in the middle of their street. But this free pantry isn't the only one that's in need of donations. Some blessing boxes in nearby counties are having the same problem. And if you're tall enough, you can ride on this ride all by yourself and control it on your own, which is just one of the ways they're making social distancing possible. Rangers say if you're planning to go on one of those trails, you must wear a mask and stay far apart because this could be dangerous. They're also asking if you're coming up behind someone to let them know and go around. And those speeches you would normally see in person may still be able to be seen in May. Instead of canceling or postponing, they're doing something a little different, a virtual graduation.
I'm a mom. If my kids would need food, I would want my child fed. We have a lot of kids that need it.
For Drone High School manager Kimberly Grindstaff, packing these meals every day is personal.
We're on our 4th pallet this morning, and there's about $9.60 a pallet.
Her 2.5-year-old granddaughter received one of these meals.
It made me feel good because I seen her, she's eating her chicken nuggets and she wanted more corn and applesauce. She ate it all.
You ready? But that was only one of the 18,000 meals that were put together. Packed, boxed up, and put on this newly donated truck.
We were doing meals every day. We were just doing a day's worth of meals, but this allowed us to go to 2 days a week instead of 5. And so we can keep our staff, our employees safer by not having them work quite as much.
Director of Child Nutrition Daniel Walls says the truck was donated by Case Farms and allows staff to make a lot more meals, which are then placed inside.
The truck's set at 15 degrees and it fluctuates 5 degrees either way.
And frozen.
We haven't filled it up yet. We've gotten close, but as we move meals out, we empty it every time.
He says by doing it this way, they are able to distribute meals twice a week, giving each child 14 meals at once.
That trailer helps a bunch. It runs 24/7, hadn't turned off since we got it.
Which he says is essential because with so many children needing the food,
We have a 60% free and reduced lunch rate in Burke County.
They have to work to prepare and pack as many meals as possible.
It's tough to work in these conditions when you're worried about being sick, but all of our folks think about, what's best for our kids and what can we do to provide for our less needy families.
As for Grindstaff, she says she will continue to pack for as long as it's necessary.
I couldn't imagine them not having anything to eat.
In Burke County, Rose Eiklor, Spectrum News. Paint cans are spraying. And Cody the bear is taking a bath? It seemed everyone at Grandfather Mountain was busy Thursday, getting ready.
We have put in a bunch of new measures.
Measures that are 6 feet apart and look like a paw print. These boxes are now on all sidewalks and even by those animal exhibits. But what do they mean?
Each family unit or people that are traveling together would basically stay in a box and then they would transition from box to box.
They mark a safe spot for each family as a whole to stand together. This makes it safe and limits the number of guests in each location.
Feel free to get excited with your family, jump all over your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, but keep it to your box and your family unit.
But they actually take it one step further. The park is now asking all guests to make a reservation and purchase a ticket in advance.
We're going to try 200 people per day in the park, which is about 20 visitors per hour. 20
visitors that will be carefully spread out to different areas of the 2.5-mile park.
It's going to feel a little more like a guided tour as opposed to just a free-flowing visit like you've had in the past, so that we don't overwhelm those areas with guests.
Some areas like the Nature Museum will remain closed, and others like the Top Shop Visitor Center will be open, but by appointment only. And when you're walking across the Mile High Bridge, people will only be walking in one direction. Staff will also be located on both sides of the bridge to make sure a limited number of people cross at a time.
Acting like traffic lights.
Because they say the decision to open wasn't an easy one.
Our plan is very flexible to increase or decrease guests as we need to.
But one they feel prepared for. So these spray cans will continue all day Thursday. So this guy can have a few visitors soon.
We're excited to welcome guests back to Grandfather Mountain.
Rose Eiklor, Spectrum News. This is 11-year-old Sarah Ackerman, who lives at this home in Valley Crucis, where bears made a visit recently. 4 of them, a mother and 3 younger bears. You can see the scratch marks and claw marks all over these trash cans.
They were 3 feet from the window. I don't think they realized I was there. I was mesmerized, and they were so close, but they were so beautiful.
Leslie Ackerman shot this video from her window. Security cameras alerted her to the movement outside her home.
They were hungry, so I couldn't be mad at them.
She does have bear-proof trash cans.
A lot of the trash cans, you know, they even if it's got a lot, they can get their paw in there. But this, you put your finger in it, and there's a little latch that opens it. Then you lift it.
So they couldn't get all of them open.
The ones that, you know, they couldn't get into, they literally would turn it over and jump on it trying to get it open.
But the latch broke on one, so you can see that bear taking garbage and leaving.
I always thought that they would be scared of the bigger dogs, but since she's got her babies with her, you know, they're going to be more protective.
Wildlife biologist Jason Smith says bears are just coming out of hibernation and are moving more because more people are staying inside.
Additionally, they have more scraps and food because they may not be able to get to the landfill, and that's an easy meal for the bears.
Smith says you should put away bird feeders, lock those garbage cans, and keep anything away from your home that could bring them in. Ackerman says she's taking it one step further with bleach.
We open it up and spray it inside, and we also spray it outside around it, just keeping the scents down.
Because
we want to know how to live safely with them, but also let them have their, you know, own habitat, because they've been here a lot longer than us, and we just want to show respect for them while being safe.
And from a safe distance.
Go away.
In Valley Crucis, Rose Eiklor, Spectrum News.
We took a stand. I knew when we put that out there that, you know, we were going to get crucified. Didn't realize we were going to get crucified as badly as we did.
Tables and chairs were empty inside Highlander's Grill and Tavern Wednesday.
We could have followed the COVID-19 guidelines.
In fact, they were closed altogether, even for takeout. Because owner David March says the 1% to 2% of revenue they were making wasn't enough.
The revenue just isn't there to sustain where we need to be at, to pay the employees, to pay for our food, to pay for what we need to do to keep our lights on.
March says he combed through the executive order for weeks trying to find a way to open back up.
We could have separated our tables 6 feet apart and not allowed any more than 10 people in any one section.
But when they posted on their Facebook page that they planned to open, they started getting threats.
One of my employees left. He wasn't going to come back because he was afraid of some of the stuff that had gotten said. I had 2 other employees that were very concerned.
Because
we should be able to have civil conversations without calling each other names or saying some of the vile stuff that was said on there, and it's unfortunate.
Unfortunate because he was planning to open back up to help his employees get paid, as they were not receiving unemployment.
You have to find a balance between keeping the people safe but not destroying the economy.
And felt that since Avery County has 0 cases, it would be safe.
It's about walking a mile in somebody else's shoes.
March later was told by the district attorney that there was one line in the executive order that prevented him from opening.
It's not just us. It's every small business in this state right now is suffering.
And while he admits he is not the only business owner discussing opening back up in the Reopen North Carolina Facebook page.
If any business tries to open back up or go against the grain, that, yeah, they'll get hammered just as badly as we did.
So for now, he says, he will remain closed and wait.
We're doing everything we can that when we are allowed to reopen, that we'll be as safe as anywhere else in town.
In Banner Elk, Rose Eiklor, Spectrum News.